Cherrye, thank you so much. Really appreciate you making the time. I know you're not feeling well today. I can hence the beanie.
Yes.
But yeah, really appreciate you just making time for a quick chat. I just wanted to talk about what's happening in your business, what you've been able to achieve in the last, 8 to 10 months, and how the program's helped you, and how you've, I guess, been able to achieve the things that you've been able to achieve. So I was having a look back, and I think you joined in February of this year. So it's now been 10 months. And I was actually having a look at some of the initial questions that you submitted when you booked a call, and like the way that you were sort of talking about your life and your business when we spoke for the first time. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're doing about, I think it was around 15K a month in sales, probably around about 5 to 6K profit. I think that was averaged out over the year. So really your business was doing around 150 to 170 grand a year in revenue.
Yeah.
And you were pretty positive about your business, but you were also kind of ground down. You were kind of, unsure about the direction to take it. Things weren't really clicking. You were a bit exhausted, overwhelmed. And is that a true, accurate kind of reflection of where you're at?
Yeah, I'd actually like to go back and look at those too. It would be fun for me to see even the difference in how I thought back then to how I think now, because I think that the mindset is something that will be really interesting for me to see how that has changed. We have had just a record year. I know a few months ago I told you we had done 200,000 in sales in 5 or 6 weeks or whatever. And then
so just stop there for 1 second. You did 100. So before, and what I'm not saying is that you being in this program is the 100% direct result of you having these results, but it's cool. I'd like to think we played a role in that. But so before February, you were doing around 150 to 170K annually. And then in one random month in this current year, you did over $200,000 in sales.
Yeah. And then again, just this in the past, today's the last 28, 29 days, we've done another 160 in this month. And so, wow. That's where I think the mentality thing is something that's so hard to describe to people, because whenever we had our call, we were to the point, where COVID had hit us. We specialize in Italy, which had taken a big hit, especially in the news. People who don't really know Europe were still more afraid of Europe, more afraid of Italy than even other places because of what they had seen on the news. And so, I was to that point. I'm like, well, has our company done for us what it's going to do? Was this it? And now it's time for another chapter in our lives. And so when we had that call, I was really to the point where it's either, invest in this program or close up shop. It was a good run. That's kind of where I was emotionally and mentally about it. Yeah. And so I know that you can't just say oh yes, it's all because of being in the program. But what the program does is it's I don't know if you've ever read that book. It's called The Power of Habit by Charles, I think his name's Charles Duhigg. And it's really a great book. And it talks about how you have a core habit, and then your core habit triggers all these other habits that are good for you, and it's just kind of it keeps going and it snowballs. And so I think that's what I think the program was for me. It was my core habit for my business, that then everything just kind of built on top of that. And so I do, for me, I know that I had to put in the work, and I know I took risks, and I know my team worked hard, but it still goes back, I think, to being able to be in the program. And even some of the things that pre-program, I would have thought I don't know, that may be a little risky, or I don't know if I'm going to do that. Just having you as a sounding board, and even the other people in the tribe as a sounding board, gave me confidence to maybe make some scarier choices that I might not have made previously.
100%. And when we spoke, that was actually very true. The sense I got from you was, I don't even know if I want to continue with this. It's just not working the way I want it to work. And am I going to just pack this in? Am I going to go all in? And I said to you, that was 10 months ago, there's no logical reason why knowing what I now know about your business after having a look at it back in February, that you can't or shouldn't be running a 7-figure business in the next 18 to 24 months. There's no logical reason. And you're just so much of the way there to doing that. And I guess also there was a not kind of negativity, may not be the right word, but you're focused on things like frustrations with competitors and things not going the way that you want to. And so, yeah, I've like the way that I've seen you grow and evolve, and the can-do attitude, the positivity, and like the creativity, the rediscovering of, you know, the love of your business. Is just shines through.
Yeah, it does. And so, you know, I don't even know if we talked about this, but years ago, I guess at some point, like we hoped that my husband is also a teacher, and we had hoped that like he would be able to like stop teaching, and then at some point we would be able to have our company for both of us full time, so that we really could travel back and forth between, you know, Italy and Texas, and be able to spend more time than just the summers and a month or so here and there. And so the direction that the business is going now, I see no reason why that can't happen.
Yeah.
Whenever we're ready for it to happen, I think that it can happen. Whereas
Amazing.
10 months ago, I would have been like, oh no, that's too scary. I don't think so.
Yeah. Wonderful. So just as like bearing in mind that you did about 200,000 in 1 month and 160,000 in another month, what are we talking for 2022? What do you reckon you're going to? And it's not all about revenue. Like it's one small element of it, and it's
right.
You know, for me, I'm all about lifestyle and equal proportions to financial reward. But what are we tracking towards?
Oh my goodness, I don't know, because that's my least favorite part of it is actually like sitting down and doing the database of stuff. And so I don't usually even look at that bottom kind of like yearly number until like December or so, because I feel like there's nothing I can do about it. Like it is what it is. You'll probably slap me on the hand about that next time. But
I wouldn't run a business that way, but you know, that's like, you're having a lot of fun, you're making a lot of money, which is
Yeah, we're having fun, and we're having like good growing pains, you know, like needing to find new people and training new people, and it's you know, good problems to have.